Okay, our gorgeous 7th graders, we're gonna do our lesson 1.1, adding integers with the same sign. So again, this is a little different from your format, but it's the same essential items. So lesson, learn, objective, essential question. You guys know how to do that already. Your standards, your SLEs, your name, and your date. So I'm just gonna do my LO, my learning objective, because I want to refer back to that. So I will be, sorry, that's the title. So my lesson is adding integers with the same sign. Just recapping from last, remember integers are whole numbers and the opposites, okay? So then my learning objectives, I will be able to add integers with the same sign. Okay, so here we go. So first we're gonna model them, and I don't have my counters, but I'll draw them out for you guys. So let me do a little star instead of the swirly, because the swirly usually goes for the vocabulary. Okay, so modeling sums. Remember, sums is another word for addition of integers with the same sign. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna use counters. Okay, so I'm gonna use yellow and red counters, just like your book does. Our counters are actually white on the positive side and then red on the negative side. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, so these are our positive counters. These are negatives. Okay, so this one equals to 1, this one equals to -1. Okay, so here we go. If we have, so I'm gonna use 3 positive ones and then 2 more. So I end up with 5 of those. Okay, so I end up with 5 counters. So in this case, it will be 3 plus 2 equals 5. Okay, and I'm gonna do the red ones, and I'm gonna do it just underneath so it's a little easier to see. So negative, 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 and then plus, and another negative, another negative. If I count them together, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I end up with a -5 because there are 5 of them and they're negative, right? They're red, so they're negative integers. Okay, in this case, I have 1, 2, 3 positives, and then plus 2 more positives. So I have 5 yellows. In this case, I have 5. Let me erase that for you guys and do it with my counters. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then in this case, it will be -3 plus -2. And we do parentheses right here just to distinguish that it's a negative. So I end up with a -5 because I have 5 negative counters. Okay, so we are, so this is a modeling. Okay, so now let's go to a number line. So again, that was using counter. Now we're going to show you on the number line, and then we're just going to do it algebraically. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to do a number line right here. Remember, to the right we have positives, and then to the left we have negatives. Okay, so in this case, if I do 3 plus 2, okay, so I'm gonna start at 3, and because I'm adding, so I'm gonna start at 3, right? And then I'm adding, so therefore I have to go to the right. Okay, so I have to do 2 to the right. So 1, 2. Okay, so I basically end up at 5. Okay, so then 3 plus 2 equals 5. We're gonna do the same thing for the negatives. okay? So in this case, if I do -3 plus a -2, this is my starting point, so -3, so I'm going to start at -3, which is right here, okay? And because I'm adding, so if I was adding a positive, I will go to the right. Because I'm adding a negative, I have to go to the left, okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2, okay? So I end up at -5. So same idea that we did on the top, okay? So then again, I end up at -5 in this case, okay? So now we're gonna do it with just algebraically. I'm gonna write tiny so I can fit it in there. So here we go. The first thing we have to do is we have to find the absolute value. So this is my number 1 step. So I'm gonna find absolute value. Remember, absolute values are always positive because it's the distance from the number to 0 on the number line, and distance can never be negative, so it's always positive, okay? And then number 2, I'm going to find the sum of the absolute values, okay? So I'm going to say find sum of absolute values. I'm going to add them together. Step number 3 is I'm going to use a sign. Basically, I'm going to use a common sign, right, for the answer. So common sign on the answer. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna do it a little bit on the bottom so you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first one. Okay, so if I do 3 plus 2, right, absolute value of those two, distance from 3 to 0 on the number line is 3, and then distance of 2 to 0 number line, that's 2, so that gives me a 5, and they both have a positive sign, so therefore it's going to be positive. If I do -3, absolute value of -3, right, and then plus absolute value -2, again, distance from -3 to 0 on the number line is just 3, and then this one is a 2, so that gives me 5, but step number 3 tells me that I have to use a common sign. They both have a negative, so therefore the answer is going to be a negative. So and then this case is -5, okay? And we are done for this lesson, so make sure that you guys review this, that you're talking and pay attention when you're taking your notes. That way it helps you to preview, review, and reinforce when you're doing your homework and when you're taking your assessment. God bless you.